Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Nano Blitz podcast. After a brief absence, my name is Ben Edelman, and I'm back with Ethan.
Yo, what's up? You guys
I'm sorry if you wanted Jeff to stay on the show.
Yeah. I don't know if Jeff was a fan favorite. I think for the brand of Nano Blitz, we should have him on every once
Yeah.
in a while.
Oh, definitely.
Um,
But a lot of stuff has happened since the last time. Even since the last time we recorded an episode in general, a lot of stuff has happened. I mean, we'll start off with the elephant in the room. Von Miller is now on the Rams with Jaylen Ramsey and Aaron Donald.
Rams. Look, if I had to bandwagon one team in the NFL, it's without a doubt going to be the Rams.
I mean, yeah, they just formed they already have one of the best offenses in the league, led by Cooper Kupp, who's been the best receiver in the league, Matthew Stafford, who's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Darrell Henderson's been pretty good too. Just an overall really good offense, combined now with a defense with honestly one of the best defensive trios of all time, behind maybe some of those Steel Curtain Steelers teams.
Listen, the reason I would bandwagon the Rams probably isn't even just because of how great they are, but that team is just not scared.
They really aren't.
They're not scared to make moves like that. In the past total year, not like just the season, but year, what team has really been like the most fun? The Rams. They got Matt Stafford, they got Von Miller, and you look even further than that, like past 5 years. I mean, they got Jaylen Ramsey. I mean, they're just like an awesome team. They're really an awesome team to
root. Yeah, like you said, the Rams always make these moves. I believe this is right, but I think it might be honestly more. For the past 5 years, they have not had their first round pick because they just trade them.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. They're not scared.
I genuinely think their last first round pick was Jared Goff.
No way.
Think about it.
I think you are right.
Think about it. Who else would it be?
I honestly I don't know. That is crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, Von Miller, he hasn't been. I mean, he missed all of last year with injury. This year, he was productive early on, recording 4.5 sacks in his first 4 games. But ever since then, he did nothing for the Broncos. He didn't do anything really week 5, 6, or 7. He really started off strong. It looked like he was going to have a comeback year, but then it just kind of faded. But regardless of that, even if he didn't have that good start to the year, this is Von Miller we're talking about. This is the guy who carried the Broncos to a Super Bowl win. The guy who I believe won Defensive Player of the Year. He did win Defensive Player of the Year, right?
No, I don't think Von Miller has one.
You're right. You're right. I don't think he has one, but that we all know why, because that's just because of JJ Watt.
I mean, it's just like those defenders that he was there with. I think he leads the sacks since when he was drafted. He leads the league in sacks.
Yeah, he does.
But it's just like every year someone else has to just do like slightly better than him.
Yeah, but he's far and away been one of the best. He's been one of the best pass rushers of this decade, honestly.
Yeah, he's unanimous all 2010s team like team maker. I don't know.
Yeah, he's one of the best edge rushers, maybe the best edge rusher of the decade, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many more I can really think of.
But I mean, I honestly like this trade from the Broncos perspective too. I mean, obviously everyone's talking about the Rams. I mean, obviously it's a good trade for them. They're comparing Von Miller to an already stacked defense. But I honestly think the Broncos got really good value for a player. I mean, you see Stephon Gilmore, who was Defensive Player of the Year just 2 years ago, getting traded for a 6th-round pick. And Von Miller, the Broncos were able to get a second or a third. That's a very valuable haul for him. Like, that's a good trade for the Broncos.
People hear the name Von Miller, and they instantly jump to conclusions, go, hey, this guy is one of the best players of all time. Maybe not like top 100, but this guy's one of the best players of all time. Just like in general. Now, Von Miller, even though he is one of the best players of all time, and that's definitely a reason for this, and I know injuries have kind of struck him past season. But like and not to say he's not good, because Von Miller is one of the best players in like the league. But he has all the seasons where he gets like a good amount of sacks and good amount of everything, good stats. He gets all that. But and added up, it's a big number. He has 110 and a half sacks in his career, which is a big number. It's just spread out very evenly. So it's the consistency for sure. But
I 100% agree with that.
You start off seeing the numbers going down a little bit. And on the Rams, they're just going to go up because it's pass rusher on the Rams. And if Aaron Donald's not getting there, it's going to be Von Miller. But a second and a third for someone who's now 32 at this point, entering his 10th season into the league. Or
also on the final year of his contract.
I mean, a second and a third, especially with this upcoming draft class, that you could definitely in the second or third get someone to play quarterback for you at good value, I'd say. And being the Denver Broncos, you definitely need a quarterback. I don't think this is a terrible trade at all.
I don't think it's terrible at all. I'd honestly say it's a win for the Broncos. Maybe not like a definite win, but like I said before, this is a win-win trade in my opinion. I truly think that this is one of the better value plays for like a star like this. Like after the Gilmore trade, I didn't think they were going to be able to. They would have been. I thought that like after the Gilmore trade, if they were going to trade Von Miller, it would be for like a third by itself. Like, that puts the Gilmore trade even into more speculation. Like, it's similar scenarios. Like, they're both star defenders. They're both like over in recently have not exactly been at the peak of their careers, and they're both on expiring contracts. It's really similar situations. If anything, Gilmore was a more valuable player. So it really makes you wonder just what the hell were the Patriots thinking on that trade.
Definitely. And other news past the Von Miller trade, a very, very big thing in the NFL happened, and I just want to make fun of this real quick. Dallas cuts Jaylen Brown. Green Bay picks up Jaylen Brown. They cut Jaylen Brown.
Jalen Smith.
Or Smith, not Brown. I knew I was saying that wrong. Brown, Smith, very common last names. Jaylen Smith gets dropped, picked up, dropped. He's one of the worst coverage linebackers in the league.
Oh, he's terrible.
So it's not that surprising, but it's just funny because there were other ways he could make it up. When he was playing, when he was playing this, or like in previous seasons, but now it's kind of like he's not playing well with like the other things that he offered. And so now it's just kind of like we have this guy on our team that just can't really cover and doesn't get the tackles like he would. This guy is just a guy who will clean up a mess that the other team made.
Yeah.
Or that the other players on the defense made. He has had over 150 tackles in his career in a season. He's had some really, really good seasons in terms of a middle linebacker. And he kind of just cleaned up for the Dallas defense. And that's what it was when he was on Dallas. And then this year, you see him on a different, like you just like see him in a Dallas defense that isn't quite as bad. And he kind of just doesn't get the stats because he's a very stats-based guy, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about this before on the podcast, but like a lot of these middle linebackers, sure, they get a lot of tackles, but they're not like actually like good. Like it depends because like tackles can be like your only basis for like judging a linebacker. Like
Absolutely.
It can be a metric to measure them, but it shouldn't be like a deciding factor in like ranking someone. Like, for example, like Luke Kuechly, everyone knows he's like one of the best tacklers of all time, but he also did other things.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from that, other news, it was a pretty quiet trade deadline aside from the Von Miller trade, but Steelers trade Melvin Ingram to the Chiefs for 6. I mean, The Chiefs need help on defense. I guess they got a little. Melvin Ingram isn't that good anymore, but I guess a good depth pickup. And a pickup I really liked, the Chiefs traded Laurent Duvernay-Tardif to the Jets to bolster an already pretty strong O-line. I really like what the Jets are building here on their O-line. They're building from the trenches out.
And Ben and I talked about this a little bit ago, how much we like their line. Jets, we, talking about the Jets, we might as well bring it up because we really haven't talked about it. Mike White was our defensive. Geez, I'm a mess today. Our offensive player of the week for the AFC. Yeah, Mike White just came out of nowhere, that guy. That's just a fun person to bring up.
Yeah, and speaking of the Jets, they're actually going to be our first game today.
Oh, yeah, so let's get into these picks. And you can't lose this one. By the way, Ben got the Colts game right last week.
I actually did get the Colts game right. I predicted the Titans to win. They won. So the Colts curse is officially over. Maybe it's because you weren't on the show.
Yeah, maybe I'm the Colts curse.
Maybe.
So this is the Jets Colts, if that wasn't clear already. And I mean, Jets coming off of a win, Colts coming off of a loss. What do you think?
I'm going with the Colts.
I am also going with the Colts. I think there's much to be said. I mean, if Mike White is actually like a quarterback that can play well, and it wasn't just that game, because he could totally be like a one-game wonder kind of guy.
I don't even know where he came from, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't even know what college he went to. I don't know when he was drafted.
You know why? Because going into this season, this is a fun fact. Going into this season, not a single Jets QB on the roster had taken an NFL snap.
Oh, my.
Did you know that?
I believe I actually did read that somewhere, but that's insane to hear out loud.
Yeah, it's really crazy that they just brought in every young white guy.
Yeah, seriously.
Literally white guy, Mike White.
Mike White. Yeah, but I think this is going to be an easy win for the Colts. They lost a heartbreaker last week. Michael Pittman really looks like not an elite receiver, but a very solid receiver one. He's proven that he can step up. He's played outstanding. He showed that he can be almost a workhorse receiver. I mean, Wentz threw it his way 15 times. He got 10 of them and 2 touchdowns along of over 100 yards. A great performance from Michael Pittman. But yeah, I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, same. Colts are pretty much definite for me, but who knows?
Next up, Raiders Giants. Are we going to talk about Henry Ruggs?
Are we going to talk about the Giants and how everyone got COVID?
Yeah, I believe some of that was traced back to test, though.
These are the 2 unluckiest teams in the NFL.
I believe some of the tests were because of, like for example, like Saquon, he tested positive, but they're not sure if they think it might have been like a false alarm. Because sometimes the tests don't work and they false. They're false. So the Giants apparently had a COVID scare.
I mean, we still have players with COVID though. And
yeah, just not, I don't think Saquon has it though.
Also,
but besides,
this is my favorite fact to share about the Giants right now. Ever since the infamous boat photo was taken, which if you know, you know, I can't really explain it, but ever since the boat picture, the Giants, after the Jets win last week against the Bengals and the Giants lost to the Chiefs, have the worst record in the NFL since that picture, officially. So, and you know what's the worst part about that? Not a single time did we have a first overall pick, even though we have had the worst record. We're just so consistent.
It's consistently bad.
We're consistent, yeah.
Yeah, even with the departure of Henry Ruggs, I'm going to be taking the Raiders in this game still.
I don't know how you go that fast.
Huh?
I don't know how you go that fast. You know how fast you're going? It was 148. Yeah. That's crazy.
I thought you were making a joke to how fast I picked the game. I thought it was just like a play on words, but you were actually talking about that.
You know what? I'm feeling good. I can't. Raiders are better than the Giants.
The Giants are hurt. Even without COVID, they're hurt. So everyone's hurt. Tony cut open his hand.
Yeah,
Galladay's hurt. Yeah, Raiders.
Okay, I don't want you to remind me, so I'm gonna go Raiders.
Falcons Saints is the next game. I mean, the Saints, me and my dad actually both predicted the Saints to win last week against the Bucs, and we were right.
Real quick, I don't think I've mentioned it because I wasn't on. I wasn't on last week's episode. Giants beat the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. Falcons Saints, back to that.
I'm taking the Saints. Even about Jameis, whoever they're starting at quarterback, they're a better team than the Falcons.
This to me seems like totally the game that Falcons win over the Saints. This is not the game that the Falcons win. This seems like the game that the Saints lose.
Yeah, the Falcons don't really seem to win a lot of games. They just seem to have the other team lose a lot of games.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Oh no, I can't. I can't just take the Falcons. That's not something you just do.
That's something you do.
I'm gonna go Saints.
I'm gonna go Saints as well. But also, if you guys haven't heard, Michael Thomas is out for the year.
Yeah, have you seen the screenshot of the guy's fantasy team?
Nah.
He has Henry Ruggs, Michael Thomas. He has like every person who got hurt. He had Saquon, like everybody. Derrick Henry now.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the Saints offense has survived without Michael Thomas, but now the test is going to be seen, can they survive without Jameis as well? And I think Jameis has done more than enough to remain with this team next year. He really cut down the turnovers a lot, and he won games, which is all that matters. So I really think they're going to bring him back next year, which they should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite game is next.
Oh, which one's?
The Bills versus the Jaguars.
This is such a boring game. Jeez, Bills.
Yeah, because the Bills are just going to run up the score.
Yeah, like that also. Like, it's not like just like how bad the Jaguars are, but the Bills are just going to like beat them when they're already down.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, me too.
There's not that much to be said about that game.
Browns-Bengals division.
The Browns have honestly started off disappointing, in my opinion.
Oh, they have. They're last in the division.
Oh, that's turning into a really good division, but they're 4-4. I mean, that's not terrible, but I really expected a lot from the Browns this year. And I mean, it's been a combination of injuries. I don't know what is going on if Odell, he needs to leave. There was talks. They weren't able to trade him. They were looking at the Saints as a team. I think that would have been an amazing fit. I don't know why they didn't pull the trigger, because now they're saying they're going to cut him.
I posted on my Instagram story the other day, hashtag free Odell. LeBron posted that on Twitter. LeBron James, one of the greatest athletes in all of sports.
Who?
LeBron James. The guy from Space Jam. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not the first one. The second one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. LeBron James even was like, free Odell. And I couldn't agree more. I'm taking the Browns this game, though.
I'm going to take the Browns. Oh, actually, I'm taking the Bengals in this game. I'm taking the Bengals in this game.
You mean you're taking Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow?
Basically, yeah. I mean, their defense has been pretty good too.
Yeah, Jesse Bates. Yeah.
Jesse Bates has always been good, but the rest of the defense is really stepping up. Browns, really, Odell, I know he's one of your favorite players in the league. It's really not his fault. Baker really just doesn't target him.
Yeah, I know. Odell's like my favorite player ever. I was a little I'm still upset that, because we're talking about cutting Jabril Peppers. You know that too?
Yeah. So a terrible trade for both sides.
Yeah, right? Like a waste but out of everyone involved in that trade, worst person that it did, the person that did worst was Odell for sure.
Didn't you guys get a first-round pick out of that trade though too?
Was that the first-round pick that we got Baker with?
Oh, it might have been. They got a third-round pick too. They actually got a nice. I think it was DeAndre Baker. Oh no, it was Dexter Lawrence. Wait, no, it was DeAndre Baker.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, DeAndre freaking Baker. So yeah, it wasn't a good pick.
It wasn't a good pick. Moving on, I'm taking the Bengals. You're taking the Browns. The game I've been waiting for since I saw the start of the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
This is on par with the Giants-Panthers game. Patriots versus the Panthers.
Oh.
I mean, if you watched the episode we had our friend Aiden on, this is his favorite team. We've been talking about this game for the past 4 years probably. And it's finally happening. You know who I'm taking. Christian McCaffrey is back. I'm taking the Panthers.
Oh, Ben.
Stephon Gilmore revenge game too.
Ben. You know I hate the Patriots, right?
Yes.
With a burning passion. But I actually I don't hate them too much because I'm a Giants fan. They give us Super Bowl rings, right? And you make me have a love-hate relationship with the Panthers.
Yeah, that's true.
And so this could be one of the toughest. I haven't even thought about picking this game because it's essentially my two best friends versus each other. It's like, whose side am I going to pick?
I mean, it comes down to the teams though. Like,
oh no, this is deeper to me than that. This is
deeper than that.
The Panthers, yeah, they're pretty good. They had the best defense last week.
Yeah, and on that note, Stephon Gilmore was phenomenal.
Patriots 2 weeks ago beat the Jets by like 25 points.
Yeah, it was a lot.
The Panthers just lost to the Giants, who have a worse record since the boat picture than the Jets, so I'm going with the Patriots.
Okay, that's flawed reasoning, but I understand.
No, the reason is because I do think the Patriots.
No, I understand that. Yeah. This is definitely a toss-up game if I'm non-biased aside. But I just want to talk about Stephon Gilmore really was. I know you put this as one of your takeaways for last week. Stephon Gilmore was everything the Panthers wanted and more, honestly. I mean, he had a tough assignment his first week as a Panther. I mean, Kyle Pitts, although he's a rookie, that is a tough physical matchup for a corner that's coming back from injury, and he did not disappoint. He held Kyle Pitts to 3 catches for 16 yards, and he sealed the game with an interception. That's a pretty good debut game, if you ask me. But I think that he really gave a recharge to Panthers defense and Panthers team overall that has struggled. And the fact that we got one superstar back last week and we're getting another one back, which is our best player back this week. I think that momentum will carry and we will win this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see it. I mean, I don't think this is a game where you just count out one team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I actually think the Patriots are going to win this one. I don't know if overall, like in flashes, I like on paper, Panthers to me are a definite team that I just think are better than the Patriots. But when I feel like it comes into this game, I feel like the Patriots are just better prepared to beat the Panthers.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Moving on to the next game, we got the Broncos versus the Cowboys.
This was basically these guys were next to each other in the draft, right? Or we're supposed to be.
We're supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a boring game, to be honest. I think the Cowboys are much better than the Broncos.
The Cowboys honestly may be the best team in the NFC.
They very well could be. They're definitely the best offense in the NFC.
Oh yeah, they have the best offense in the league.
They very well may.
I honestly think they do. Even with a backup quarterback, obviously Dak Prescott is the heart of that team.
Yeah.
But I'm not discounting Dak or anything, but it just shows all the weapons that they have. Like that team can function even without Dak. Even without Dak.
Sorry?
Even without Dak, that team can still be very productive on offense and put up a lot of points, and they won. They won.
It's weird too, because if there's like a team that needs like their starting QB, if you would ask me in the beginning of the season, I would tell you it's the Cowboys.
Yeah, because you look at last year, that was a mess without Dak. I mean, Zeke completely fell off. That was partly due to the O-line injuries as well, but that was a complete mess last year for the Cowboys, and I'm happy that they're turning. I mean, not necessarily happy. I kind of have a neutral relationship with the Cowboys. I mean, I like Zeke because he's on my fantasy team, but other than that, it's pretty neutral. But I do like Dak, and I'm happy to see him back to form. I have the Cowboys winning this game.
Yeah, I'm a Giants fan, but I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I mean, Broncos beat us, right? So
yeah.
So I mean, so did Cowboys. Cowboys, I really hate both these teams. This is like my least favorite two teams matched up here. Yeah, but I'm gonna take the Cowboys just because they're better.
All right. Next up, we have the Vikings versus the Ravens.
Uh, I don't know. I think the Ravens are one of the best teams in the league. Like probably top 5 for me.
I don't know about that.
So I'm
We're
taking
definitely in that conversation though.
I'm taking the Ravens. They have who I think is a top 5 QB. They have who, I just think that they have a really good team. You know, their defense needs to get it together a little bit. They're not playing like the Ravens defense we quite thought they would, but overall, the Ravens are just a better team than the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens as well. I don't think they're quite a top 5 team like you say, but you guys all know my opinions on Lamar. I think he's a top 3 quarterback in the league. I think Lamar really is that good, and he's shown so much. He's shown so much progression this year as a pocket passer. That's why last year he would be just out. He would just be inside my top 5, probably at number 5. But I really think his progression as a pocket passer has allowed him to move up. The defense does. It has not lived up to expectations though. But that aside, I do have the Ravens winning this game due to the fact that the Vikings, they need to fire their head coach.
Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer has been there forever and he's done nothing. The only thing he did was get lucky by the Minnesota Miracle and then get killed in the conference championship by the Eagles led by Nick Foles. Like he's done nothing. He's done nothing besides choke and lose games.
And being honest. And coaching talented young players and not being able to do anything with it.
Yeah, for seriously, he's had all the talent on his team and he really hasn't put it together. Sure, they make the playoffs every so often, but what do? They either choke in the wild card, somehow win a game, or they sometimes win a game in the wild card or something off a miracle, or like what they did against the Saints a couple of years ago. Not the Minnesota Miracle, but the one where they won in overtime. But then they'll just proceed to get absolutely curb stomped in the next game and all of it's out the window.
Yeah, this is one of those cursed teams, huh?
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens though.
Yeah, same.
Oh, 2 very bad teams. Texans and Dolphins.
Oh, this is like the Deshaun. You want to know why this is a matchup? I can guarantee you that it's why. Because at this point, everyone thought that that Deshaun Watson would be on the Dolphins here.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, it's Deshaun Watson versus the Texans. But yeah, that didn't happen. I mean, it could technically still happen. They have a little bit more to go.
Yeah.
It's currently 9 p.m.
No. The trade deadline's already over. It was yesterday.
It was yesterday?
Yeah.
Huh. And
also it ended like 3, I think.
Yeah, I knew it ended in a weird spot. That's why I wasn't sure. Yeah, I'm taking the. Sometimes it's these 2 really hard games that are always or really bad teams that just make it the hardest games to predict here. But
who are you going with?
Are you just gonna oppose me?
Probably.
Okay.
I'll see though.
All right, then I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
I was actually planning on going with the Texans either way.
All right, cool. So
I think that the Dolphins just suck.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. I do think that the Texans are worse.
And it doesn't help that they've completely mismanaged the entire Deshaun Watson thing. That both of these teams have mismanaged. It's funny, both of these teams have mismanaged the entire Deshaun Watson thing.
Yeah, poor guy. Deshaun Watson deserves nothing of this. He never did anything.
Yeah, the Texans, they have completely boggled it. We all know about that. But the Dolphins, by cementing themselves in these talks and not even getting anything out of it, they've completely ruined the confidence of their quarterback.
Yep.
Instilled doubt in him and ruined the team chemistry in the process, leading to them being 1-7. And they're a bottom 3 team. They are a bottom 3 team in the league. I honestly think and also Tyrod Taylor may be coming back this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins. I think that the Texans overall just don't have the talent that the Dolphins do. Like, not to say the Dolphins really have that much talent anyways, but I think Texans are probably the worst team in the league.
Maybe.
They're definitely the worst team playing this week, I think. Because the Lions are really the only person you could argue, but I think the Lions are good, even though they're terrible.
All right. Speaking of the Lions, I just want to mention this because they're on their bye week. I was gonna put this as one of my takeaways, but it sounded too complicated, so I'm just gonna say it didn't make sense like on paper, so I'm just gonna say it now. One of my takeaways was gonna be that the Lions are no longer a good bad team. They're just a bad team. Like
yeah.
I don't like. I think it's enough of the talk. Like, oh, the Lions, they're 0-8, but they have a lot of heart. I mean, that is a fact though. They do have a lot of heart, but that doesn't make them. They're the worst team in the league. The heart doesn't always win you football games.
They probably are the worst team in the league.
They are the worst team in the league. They just
they probably won't end with the first pick.
I think they will.
You think they could?
Yeah, I think they will.
Who do they get?
I don't think they go quarterback.
I was about to say the same thing.
I think they go with Kayvon. I don't think Jared Goff is by any close near. Although he hasn't been spectacular this year, I don't think he's anywhere near the main problem.
The main problem is definitely pass rush.
Yeah, and you could easily fix that from day one by adding Kayvon to your team.
Yeah, he's an incredible player, that guy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a little bit about the Lions because I forgot they don't have a game this week. But
speaking of the Lions, here's a team that beat them really bad. Yeah. This is the Eagles-Chargers game, and the Lions fans are going to feel a lot better about that because I got the Chargers beating the Eagles all day.
Yeah, I have the Chargers winning by a lot too. They had a surprising loss to the Patriots last week, but I think they'll rebound from that nicely and beat an Eagles team that's probably a team as well as their fans that is probably way too arrogant after killing the Lions.
If there is one team that I hate the most, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll tell you that, and I mean that so I mean that. I really mean that. I really don't like the Cowboys. I really don't. But if there's only one team I can say I genuinely hate in all of football, all of sports, it is the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm taking the Chargers because the Chargers are better. And the Eagles, every win they have, they really don't deserve. Except for you can't disregard the Lions one. They definitely deserve it if they're going to shut out a team like that. Lions really.
If you look at the win they got against the Panthers, they got really lucky. Like, actually, no, I'm going to accept that loss. That game should not have been close to begin with.
I'm glad you finally accepted the loss.
Like 4 weeks later.
Weeks ago, yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking the Chargers as well.
Yeah.
Interesting development in this game. Aaron Rodgers will not be playing in this game due to testing positive for COVID. It is officially going to be Jordan Love's first NFL career start against a struggling Chiefs team that barely beat the Giants.
Hey, this isn't that game that when this was on the schedules in the beginning of the year, we thought it would be.
Yeah, this was hyped up as one of the best games of the year. Like, I remember seeing a lot of ads for this. Like, this is the game of the year. Like,
now I'm taking the game right under this as one of the best games. Oh no, because never mind.
No.
We'll get to that in a second. That hurt really bad. I'm upset. Packers Chiefs. Packers without Rodgers. That's tough, actually. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
All right.
Or were you gonna choose Packers?
I was gonna choose Packers. Yes, I think that the Chiefs. I mean, they surely won last week, but it was the Giants, and they barely won. Like, they barely got out of their life. They still looked really sloppy. I mean, they just aren't fixing their problems. It seems we're halfway through the year at this point, exactly halfway. They have not fixed any of their problems. I don't think the addition of Melvin Ingram is going to magically fix all their problems. He's probably going to be a role player at best. I think that the Packers, I think Jordan Love, I think he'll just be a game manager. Obviously, he won't be Aaron Rodgers, but he has a lot of surrounding talent, a good O-line, one of the best receivers in the league in Devontae Adams, a really good running back, Aaron Jones. I think that his surrounding talent will be able to carry him to a win. The defense hasn't looked too bad this year, honestly. Packers defense. Definitely not as bad as previous years.
For me, it's more of like, I don't know how Jordan Love's going to play, and I know how Patrick Mahomes is going to play. And as long as Patrick Mahomes receivers catch the ball and don't like volleyball it back up into the air, I think that the Chiefs will win.
Yeah, I still think that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. I mean, when you look at
I agree.
When you look at his interceptions, all of them besides like 2 or 3 were because of just them like bobbling off the players. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. If they stop playing volleyball and start playing football,
Maybe they can start to win some games.
Yeah. I mean, their defense is still a huge issue.
Oh, the defense, that's always been a problem though.
I mean, it's not been a problem like it is this year. It's just always been a little bit of a liability.
What has Tyrann Mathieu been doing this year? Has he been like? I know
he's bad. He's been bad, right? He's been mad a bunch of times.
I know there's that picture that was floating around social media of him.
Yeah, when
staring at the guy that allowed the touchdown.
Yeah, when Sorensen allows the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple solid players in that defense, but they just need more depth, honestly, if we're being for real. Which the Melvin Ingram pickup was good because it added depth, but it's not enough to fix all their problems. I'm going Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. We'll see. I definitely think Green Bay is probably going, but I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
All right.
I take the upset sometimes.
Next up, we have the Cardinals 49ers. Kyler Murray, I don't even know if he's playing in this game. So let's assume.
Let's assume he doesn't. Assume he doesn't. I'm taking 49ers. Assume he does. I'll take Cardinals.
Yeah, I think I'll have to go with that too. It's really 50-50 at this point for his injury. I'm going to do the same thing as you say. Sorry for not having a confirmed game pick for this, but like you can't when the team's best player is out.
Like starting quarterback. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. James Conner could carry.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I guess I really don't like giving a no decision, but I have to.
Yeah, I have to as well for this game.
But this game, that would have been so good.
Oh my God, Ethan, think about this. We could have had that scenario that we've said like a million times on the podcast.
Yes,
Derrick Henry running full force at Aaron Donald.
This is Titans-Rams, guys, and they got Von Miller. If any team can stop Derrick Henry, it's the best tackling corner, the best defensive lineman in the league, the best player in the league, and one of the best players, like I said, of all time, all on the same team like this. If anyone's stopping Derrick Henry,
it's them.
It is the LA Rams, but now it's Darrington Evans and maybe Adrian Peterson at this point.
Oh my goodness. This is a mess. I don't know what they're going to do.
I know what they're going to do. They're going to lose.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Because Jaylen Ramsey is shutting down either AJ Brown or Julio Jones. It doesn't matter.
You know what's funny? I was actually at the start of this year, before the season started, I was actually really critical of the Rams defense, and I thought they were going to regress because I really did think that John Johnson was like a big part, which he was. That definitely has hurt their team.
Yeah,
but they still. I think I underestimated Aaron Donald and Jaylen Ramsey because even before the addition of Von Miller, they still had a top 3 defense.
It's just like if you're gonna have the best 2 defensive players in the league, you're not gonna lose like that.
Yeah, and now they have like one of the best edge rushers in the league.
It's really like basketball. They have a big 3. They have a big 3. The Rams. What teams can you say that about? What teams can you really say that about?
None really. I mean, Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs have one.
Packers too, I guess.
Maybe
you could go Aaron Jones. Yeah.
The Panthers.
Panthers. Christian McCaffrey, and Robbie Anderson dropping everything.
Cowboys.
Yeah, for sure. Dak, Zeke, and you could take. They have like a big 4.
Kind of, yeah.
You could take CD or Amari.
Amari's better though.
Yeah, I mean Bengals have a big 2. You could say Joe Mixon, but I don't know.
Joe Mixon's not a part of that.
Yeah.
The Giants.
With Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, and Kadarius Toney.
All right. Oh, the Chargers, actually.
What, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen? Or
no, Keenan, Eckler, and Herbert.
You don't think Mike Williams would be in that?
He could be.
Mike Williams is good.
I feel like we're talking way too much about this.
Yeah, why are we talking about the Chargers right now? We're talking about the Rams, and yeah, they do have a big three though. I'll say that. I'm taking the Rams because I think they're the best team in the league, and that's not changing until someone really proves me wrong.
I disagree with that, but I'm taking the Rams in this game as well.
Who you got? The Packers as the best team in the league.
I probably have the Bills as the best team in the league, honestly.
That's interesting. I don't see a lot of people choosing any AFC teams.
And I mean, the Bucks still have to be up there even after the loss. But
yeah, probably.
we have one final game though. This is going to be a horrible offensive game. This is the final. I wouldn't be surprised if the final score is like 6-3.
This is the best game ever. Like 50 years ago.
Yeah. Bears versus the Steelers.
This is the Bears Steelers. Yeah. This is like the best game ever if it's an all-time team.
Yeah, that's true. Two of the best franchises of all time.
Yeah. I mean, Bears have the highest win rate. Steelers have the most Super Bowls.
I'm taking the Bears in this game.
I'm taking the Steelers.
Justin Fields finally looked like he broke out last week, honestly. He finally looked like what everyone thought he was going to be. I mean, most rookie quarterbacks struggle in their first few weeks. I mean, that's been a common theme this year. Trevor Lawrence struggled in his first few weeks. We've all saw how that's turned out. He's been spectacular, even if he's not winning as many games.
Mike White. The Jets I was on the on Instagram. NFL posted about how Mike White won their offensive player of the week, and Jets go, that's our guy. And then I read the comments of that, and it was just like, wow, you're gonna give up on Zach Wilson like that. Yeah.
Who are you taking in this game?
I'm taking the Steelers.
All right.
I think
this is definitely going to be. I actually think this will be an interesting game. I'm definitely going to be watching this. I actually do. This is actually going to be a good game.
Oh, and it's Monday night, so there's nothing really in my way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That pretty much wraps up the game picks for this week.
Yeah.
Follow the Instagram like always at NanoBlitz Podcast. We post our players of the week, some takeaways, some other things sprinkled in.
If you have any suggestions, you can always DM. That's the best way to contact us.
Yeah, and
like a comment on the YouTube channel, but I think best would just be to go to the Instagram and shoot us a DM.
And before you leave, please pray for Ethan's fantasy team after Derrick Henry's injury.
Derrick, I renamed my fantasy team to "We Miss You, Derrick Henry." This is gonna be tough because I am 7-1 in fantasy football, which is the best in the league. I'm usually the best record in the league, but I never usually get an injury this devastating. Derrick Henry, I mean, the only week where I can safely say I would have won without him is last week because he put up like 6 points. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me upset, to be honest.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching until the end, and see you guys next week.